Welcome to Eerie Earth. I'm your host Kieran. Thank you for joining. In this podcast we talk about all things paranormal, from ghosts, cryptids and much more. So sit back, relax and join me as we explore this Eerie Earth. In this episode I want to take you to England to talk about the infamous Hellfire Caves, a warren of tunnels that weave their way through the chalk hills of High Wycombe. Thought to be one of the most haunted places in the world, with tales of devil worship, debauchery and even murder plague the tight claustrophobic tunnels. So grab a torch or a candle and join me as we make our way underground to talk about the fascinating Hellfire Caves. The caves have always been there, on the edge of a quarry. Sir Francis Dashwood began expanding the quarry, and the tunnels were expanded to use the chalk to make foundations for the surrounding buildings and villages. This was to try and quell the overwhelming volume of unemployment that had started in the area, which was caused by incredibly poor harvest in 1748, 49 and 50. The materials were also used to make a direct road from West Wycombe to High Wycombe, an hour outside of London. The men working on the road were paid a meagre 1 shilling a day, which was enough for them to get some food and some ale to get them through the harsh work. Dashwood built the caves 300 feet beneath the impressive St. Lawrence Church, with its signature golden ball on top and a large mausoleum. He then became a Member of Parliament, getting the job of Chancellor of the Exchequer for his work in sorting out the mass unemployment in the area. Many argued he could have easily just expanded the quarry, but we don't really know why he decided to create a winding tunnel system with several chambers. Some believed it was to host various debaucherous acts and groups away from prying eyes. The winding corridors span the system of caves containing chambers and rooms which many believed were used for the dark arts, and groups known only as the Hellfire Club would meet down in the caves in the main chamber. The Hellfire Club was set up by Sir Francis Dashwood and would be involved in various forms of unusual activity, from drugs, sexual conduct, and some even say devil worship. While Dashwood founded the club, it had some very prestigious members, such as politicians, poets, and even American founding father Benjamin Franklin. He was known to visit the caves, but not very regularly. The caves even had a subterranean river that members of the club had to cross in order to get to the inner temple. They called this river the River Styx, like the one from Greek mythology where the souls of the dead would float in Hades. The inner temple where the club would host their unusual meetings sits 300 metres beneath the St. Lawrence Church, and many believed that this was to signify heaven and hell. While the caves themselves are incredibly interesting, they also play host to numerous ghost sightings and hauntings, and is classified as one of the most haunted places in England. Several paranormal TV shows have visited the caves, including Most Haunted and Ghost Adventures. Lots of paranormal teams host events at the caves, hoping to catch a glimpse of the entities that patrol the winding, sprawling corridors. Stories of disembodied voices coming from the shadows and shadowy figures hiding out in the darkness of the tunnels are just some of the infamous tales that plague the famous tourist attraction. The most famous haunting associated with the caves is that of Suki, a girl who was led to the caves before being murdered. Suki was a maid at a nearby inn who was asked to come down to the caves to meet a potential suitor. Instead of meeting the man in question, 3 men approached her. They tried to take advantage of her and she fought back. In the kerfuffle, a stone was thrown and it struck Suki in the head, killing her instantly. Her body was left in the caves, and her spirit now wanders the warren of tunnels, some referring to her as the White Lady of the Hellfire Caves. She is said to be clad in white, with coal-black hair and blood dripping from her head. While that's creepy enough, visitors to the cave have experienced disembodied voices, EVP or electronic voice phenomena, feelings of being touched, and dark, ominous figures lurking in the darkness. The caves are open to the public as a tourist attraction, and paranormal teams often spend the night there in the hopes to come across some evidence to prove that the Hellfire Caves are in fact one of the most haunted places in England. If you ever get a chance to visit the infamous caves, you never know who you might be sharing the tunnels with. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Eerie Earth. If you enjoyed this episode, then please consider leaving a 5-star review and supporting where you can. Follow us on Instagram at Eerie Earth Official and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Eerie Earth Official. This podcast is sponsored by Eerie Earth Tours, a 5-star rated ghost tour company in Edinburgh. To book on one of our very popular tours, then please visit eerieearthtours.com or go to TripAdvisor or Viator. Thanks again for listening, and as always, bye bye for now.